Hello, and thank you for listening to this Ringside Report Network podcast today. You can find more in-depth, exclusive written content on our website at ringsidereport.net. Before I hand it off to Dave and the team, I want to remind you that we are a listener-supported creator team. On our website, we would appreciate it if you supported our sponsors or purchased our exclusive merch. Branded clothing, mugs, and even jiu-jitsu gear, which are available only in our store. You can become a recurring supporter of our content at membership.ringsidereport.net. This, along with all our podcasts, is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon, iHeart, and TuneIn, wherever you get your podcasts. It would help us immensely if you left a positive review on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Thank you for your support and enjoy the show.
Oh, we're live. SmackDown's live. Johnny's live. There's Johnny.
How's it going, Dave?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Somewhat enjoying SmackDown tonight. Usually SmackDown, not the greatest show, but I feel for the most part it's been actually somewhat decent. I thought Jacob Fatu Andrade, pretty good match.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind Tiffany and Chelsea. There's little things we can talk about with that, but it wasn't that bad overall. Crowd was into it, which was really good. This isn't that bad, too. 6-woman tag that we're watching right now.
Mm-hmm. Naomi just took Raquel Rodriguez over the top with a Hurricane Rana. That was pretty nuts. And Roxanne Perez just pinned Bayley.
For the win.
For the win. Yeah.
Wow, she ain't winning tomorrow.
Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan get a win over Bianca, Naomi, and Bayley in a 3-on-3 tag team match, getting ready for the chamber match tomorrow.
Oh, and there's your favorite.
There's Alexa Bliss. Ooh, there's the Bliss. And she is going to hit the Sister Abigail on Roxanne Perez. We're watching SmackDown right now. We're going to preview the Elimination Chamber here tonight. Alexa Bliss is in the Elimination Chamber. We haven't seen much of her since she returned, right? She was in the Rumble. Has she done anything else?
I think she had a match.
She had a qualifying match?
Yep.
Okay.
Qualified.
Yeah. Well, there she is. She's in the match. Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez will be in the Women's Elimination Chamber match to determine an opponent for Rhea Ripley.
There's your favorite again.
At WrestleMania. There's Charlotte Flair on the screen getting interviewed. Charlotte, of course, will be wrestling Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Charlotte won the Royal Rumble, so she's got her match at WrestleMania. And 6 women looking for their match at WrestleMania, looking for their match against Rhea Ripley. And I think it could go a number of ways. We'll break that down. We'll also get to the men's Elimination Chamber match where the winner supposedly faces Cody Rhodes. Whether or not he has a soul, I think that'll be another issue. But John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins all in the Elimination Chamber match tomorrow night in Toronto. Toronto's own Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton teaming up to take on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae in a tag team match. And Samuel Zayn faces Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match. We saw Sammy and Kevin cut a promo tonight on the show. I'm interested in that match, and I'm wondering where it leads, what that means for them at WrestleMania. Is this their big match, and maybe there's no room for them at WrestleMania? Do they take each other out of WrestleMania competition? Or is this just the first of a series of matches where we see another one possibly at Mania? We'll talk to Johnny and get his thoughts on that. I want to give a shout out to some of the people in the chat, some of the members, seeing Leor in there. member over at join.ringsidereport.net. Shout out to Leor, Ryan, and CSL Lauren in the chat as well. Everybody checking out Wrestling Uncensored here live on a Friday night. Johnny, you've enjoyed SmackDown? You've been liking it?
Yeah, again, for the most part. Like, I like the whole Sammy and Kevin thing. It's just funny how Kevin's like, oh, I'm at the Rogers Center. You're not going to get me. Rogers Center is not very far from the Scotia Bank. Like, it's very close, actually. He easily could have gone and seen him, actually, but whatever. Like, he's not wrong where that's definitely going to be the biggest venue that they've wrestled at, without question. That's going to be gigantic. Can't wait for that. That's the match I'm looking forward to, I think, the most tomorrow is that match.
It's still the Sky Dome to me, brother. You know?
Well, I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, Rogers Center, Sky Dome. I mean, Sky Dome
Rogers Center sounds weird. I don't know.
I mean, they rename things all the time. It was called the Molson Center one time, right? Now it's the Bell Center.
Yeah.
You know, things get changed.
It's still the new forum to me, brother.
Exactly. It's all the same thing. Whatever.
No.
Like,
I'm joking about that. I call it the Bell Center. It seems like the Bell Center at this point. Anyways, the Rogers Center is where the Blue Jays play and where they're going to do the Elimination Chamber tomorrow. Big stadium. Like, I think it's set up for about 40,000 something people. So a big crowd.
I'm sure WWE will have, you know, bigger numbers than the numbers you're putting out there. And, like, who knows the exact what it is and all. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of people. So regardless, there'll be a lot of people. Regardless if it's 30, if it's 60,000, like, doesn't matter. Like, there's going to be a lot. So it's going to be a really big show. And I hope people get their money's worth. I think they will. I think with that match possibly alone with Kevin and Sammy, because judging from their matches in the past, one of the best matches you could ever see ever in wrestling, I think, Kevin versus Sammy. So that should easily be your money's worth on that one. And then you have, of course, the Elimination Chamber matches. Those are usually fun. There's only 4 matches, if I'm not mistaken, right, tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah, the 4 matches I just mentioned. The 2 chamber matches, the tag team match with Trish Stratus, and then Kevin and Sammy. 4 matches.
Did we not get more in Montreal? I felt like we got a lot more in Montreal.
Probably. Got Brock Lesnar, 2 chamber matches. Roman, Sammy.
Edge.
Beth. Yeah. 5 matches there, at least. But, you know, they also get a Rock promo. And something from Travis Scott, which is not clear what that is, but Travis Scott will be there for some reason. Remember when I first started talking about Travis Scott and going to see Travis Scott and you and AJ and everybody, they were like, who is this guy? I never heard of this guy. Now he's everywhere. I feel like AJ talking about like Logan Paul. I told you guys this guy was a big deal. You know?
You're AJ. It's pretty hilarious. It's not bad. I don't know if he'd like it too much, but it's funny.
Hey, Dave. No, no.
Because the more you do it, first it sounds kind of like tough, and then it gets more dopey as it goes on. That's exactly. It's very intentional, it sounds.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. According to WrestleTix on Twitter, which is usually a pretty good source for this kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Yesterday they posted that the current setup for Elimination Chamber was 33,287, and they've distributed 31,559. So there's, you know, just under 2,000 tickets available, but they may add more. So,
if I'm not mistaken,
not quite, you know, I mean, it's a big crowd. It's a very, over 30,000 for a wrestling show is massive. But you could fit
100%.
more people in there.
Well, yeah, you get, like, I want to say Rogers Center is like 55,000 capacity, no?
Something
obviously
like that.
The setup, but the setup's going to, the stage, whatever they have for it, that's going to mess it up a little bit. But they probably could get 40,000. They probably might say they have 40,000. So wait for that. That might happen.
Yeah, but what was the attendance at WrestleMania 6?
What was the attendance at WrestleMania 6? I want to say it was in that 40 to 50,000 range.
Okay, Get ready, John, okay? Because this show right now, what do we say? They have about 32,000 tickets sold, right?
Yes.
The advertised attendance for WrestleMania, announced attendance at the Skydome, okay? This is in 1990, 67,678.
For some reason, I was thinking 66,000 or something, because I remember that number for some reason. And, like, yeah, well, whatever.
And you know what? They're going to make way more money off this show than they did that show somehow. Even with inflation. Like, not counting the inflation and they'll still make more off half the tickets sold in the same building.
Well, apparently tonight it's sold out too, right? Good crowd, without question.
It's a good crowd. It's a hot crowd. They got a lot of people there, for sure. But isn't that nuts, man? They're doing a show tomorrow in the Skydome. They're set up for 33,000 capacity. WrestleMania 6, Hogan Warrior, Skydome, 67,000. What Mania was Rock Hogan?
18. That was in Toronto, yeah.
That was all same building, right?
Yeah.
Advertised attendance, announced attendance, 68,237 at the Skydome.
So maybe 50,000 they'll say probably. Whatever.
How can they say 50,000 when there's people out there like saying it's 32,000? They can't say 50,000. That would be nuts.
You've noticed too, like in just the last couple of weeks, suddenly we get Trish, suddenly we get The Rock. They really pushed hard to sell tickets for this. Like, I give them credit for that. Just maybe a little too late on that one. They probably could have got a lot more if this was advertised a lot earlier.
Yeah. Pretty cool though. They've stacked the deck for Elimination Chamber. They've given you a lot to look forward to and wonder about. The Rock coming in, wanting Cody's soul, and getting his answer at Elimination Chamber adds a whole new dimension to this show. Because The Rock could be setting something up for WrestleMania. For himself, for Cody, for who knows. So, it's important, and it's like, it comes out of nowhere. Because it felt like Cody's champion. He's the babyface champion. He's going to go in as this version of Cody Rhodes to WrestleMania against the winner of the Chamber, probably John Cena. It'll be a passing of the torch type moment. Cody will beat Cena, or Cena maybe beats Cody, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of where we were headed, and it was fine. I think we would have had some good promos and good build leading up to it, but now that The Rock's involved, you go, well, what's all of this? What's that part of it? Because that we weren't really expecting, that we didn't really see coming, and that part, nobody really understands what's going on there. Everybody's kind of mystified. I think even some people in WWE Creative are like, what's happening exactly? What's he doing? I wonder how much Cody knows. Like, what does it mean for The Rock to want Cody's soul? If Cody says yes, like, let's run this. If Cody says, okay, Rock, you have my soul, and he, rubs his belly or something. I don't know what he does. What is that? Cody's a heel? That's what it's just. Cody is turned heel, and The Rock is like his sometimes manager when he has time to show up. The Rock will accompany Cody to the ring against John Cena, and they will destroy John Cena together because Cena is a threat to The Rock in Hollywood, because Cena has, disrespected The Rock in the past, and Rock holds a grudge, and he doesn't want Cena to get this big career in Hollywood that he's getting now, and Cody's his man to end that. Is that where we're headed? That's a path.
It's not bad. I like that. That could work easily. I just feel, again, if he says yes, it's not at the Chamber. It's kind of like tonight, too. It's like, oh, what is his final words before the Chamber? What are we hyping here exactly? Like, he's not really giving a decision, but still, that's the main event segment tonight, is Cody's final words before he gives us decision. That's the big hype tonight, it's kind of awkward actually. Like, and the Truth thing was funny that he did the whole thing with Truth in the locker room. That was a funny little thing, but we're building up to just like, oh, he'll kind of just say how he feels, and then we'll have the Chamber tomorrow. It's kind of awkward. Like the whole thing we had with Punk and Paul and Raw, it was just awkward ending. Like, it's cool to have all these guys there, but when it just ends awkwardly, you kind of feel like you got cheapened in the end.
They've got the stars, but they don't really have the ideas. You know, they don't have any of the follow through.
Nothing's happening. You know, well, that's a big problem too. I mean, it was cool to have the guys for the Chamber except Cena, but they didn't do any, like, no tag match or anything, like nothing except Punk chased Paul away and they just all stood there awkwardly. I mean, come on, like, you have all the big stars there and they don't do anything. It's kind of lame.
It was a good reaction when, you know, they did a promo tonight and John Cena's music hit and nobody was expecting Cena to be there. Drew McIntyre was saying, oh, John Cena's not here and I'm going to bury him and I'm not scared of you anymore and all this. And then Cena's music hits and everybody goes crazy thinking it's Cena. And it's not Cena, it's Logan Paul, and Logan Paul got a lot of heat. I thought that was pretty good.
Hey, Dave and Johnny,
What the hell is this?
If I am being honest, I was the first one in the entire world to say that Logan Paul is something special.
Oh,
Mark my words.
What is this? AI AJ taking over again. This fucking guy. I can't get rid of him.
Just comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say, John. I don't know where I was. I'm completely lost.
Well, you're talking about Cena and how the fact he wasn't there and Logan Paul showed up. Got good heat, Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's it. He got some good heat, and Punk chased after him. Like, Logan was, like, trying to cut a promo on everybody, and it was really flat. It was very bad.
Punk said it. It was boring.
Yeah, he's like, if you're this boring tomorrow night, you're going to be in big trouble. And then Logan's like, oh, yeah, how about I slap you like I did on Raw? Because they had a little promo exchange, and he slapped him. And Punk's like, oh, how about this? How about I come get you? And then he chased after him, and then Logan ran away, and then everybody just kind of stood there awkwardly.
I don't know. That wasn't great. I mean, at least we had this build-up to his tournament, which is not too bad. Like, it's unfortunate.
Filler bullshit.
Well, no, I given that apparently Nakamura's like brother passed away. We're
It's not
supposed to
his
have
brother.
Nakamura.
It's not his brother.
I thought it was his brother.
No, it was a wrestler friend of his, like a close friend.
Well, that's like a brother then.
Yeah, but it's not his brother. I saw that people thought Nakamura's brother died. It's like, what? It's not his brother.
I think maybe some people meant that, but yeah, not his actual brother, but friend.
People can't read because Nakamura was like, he said something like, "You're like a brother" or something, like as close of a brother or something. He's not his actual. They have different last names. They have different name. Like what?
But I get what he means by that. Like,
yeah, but people. Anyways, John, don't worry about it. Nakamura's not. So here's the thing: Nakamura's not at SmackDown because his friend died, and he's sad. He was supposed to wrestle LA Knight and defend his U.S. title, right?
Right.
So instead of having him defend his U.S. title against LA Knight, they put LA Knight in a match that he had to win against. Who did he beat?
He beat. What was it again? I'm forgetting time too. It was actually probably the worst match we saw tonight. Actually, to be fair, if I'm not mistaken. El Phantasmo, the leader of that group.
Oh yeah, not El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo's a.
No, that's New Japan. Actually,
that's a white guy, man. This guy's Mexican. Santos Escobar.
Yeah, that's true.
El Phantasmo is a guy from BC. It's like a white guy from BC named El Phantasmo.
Well, he
wrestles
in
New Japan. You're thinking of Santos Escobar, who's part of a Mexican group on SmackDown with Los Garzas.
Garzas were supposed to be in a match that never happened tonight.
Yeah, whatever. Because all the tag teams started brawling, right? The Garzas, the DIY, Street Profits were supposed to wrestle the Garzas, and then the DIY attacked the Street Profits, and then Pretty Deadly came out, and they were in a brawl, and then Motor City Machine Guns. We're building towards some sort of multi-man match at WrestleMania for the tag titles, right? It's like going to be a 4-way tag. DIY, Street Profits, Garzas, Motor City, and Pretty Deadly. 5-way tag for the belts, maybe?
I'm thinking, what did they do last year? A ladder match? I think they're going to do another ladder match, probably.
That'd be fun. And Pretty Deadly win the ladder match at WrestleMania? How crazy would that be?
I think I'd give it to the Street Profits.
Oh.
They're the most over tag team.
Oh. No, they're not.
What are you talking about? No, they're not. They definitely were.
No, they're
they
not.
They got the biggest reaction that came out.
Yes,
you can play that all you want, but they're not that over yet.
That's not true.
Yes,
they're super over. Are the Street Profits going to win the tag team titles at WrestleMania?
Yes,
I heard a yes in that, so I believe in the Street Profits winning, yeah.
It's the Yes Boy movement. The Yes Boy movement, okay? You've heard of the Yes movement? It's the Yes Boy movement. Even better, because there's 2 of them.
I think it's fair to say LA Knight's going to win this. We're watching the finals right now of this
Right.
U.S. title number 1 contender tournament.
Yeah, I'm mad about this, John. I'm mad about all this filler because Nakamura is supposed to defend his title against LA Knight. LA Knight's already the number 1 contender, but Nakamura's not there, so they make LA Knight wrestle Santos Escobar, beat him, and now Jacob Fatu, he wrestled Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes beat Braun Strowman with a cheap Eddie Guerrero thing where he faked the getting hit with a chair. It's been overdone, and it was really quite lame. So now LA Knight not only had to beat these guys, beat his opponent, now he's in a triple threat with Jacob Fatu and Carmelo, and he's got to beat these guys to get what he already had.
Yeah, well, that happened because the plans get switched. That's happened to me, actually, in wrestling. It happened at Mad Dog Wrestling. I won the Battle Royal number 1 contender. Now they're doing a tournament. I should just be the champion if there's a tournament for the title. But no, I have to go through the whole tournament again and become number 1 contender pretty much again, even though I'm already number 1 contender, to get the title shot. But that's what happens. Things get changed around.
Yeah, but if you think about it, LA Knight, it doesn't make any kind of sense because Nakamura, he was the champion supposed to defend his belt, and he didn't show up. So shouldn't LA Knight just be champion? Or, you can just not show up as champion if you want to. If you're the champion of a thing, you can just not be there.
As someone who's in pretty much the exact same situation, except the champion forfeited his title, and I pretty much had to become number 1 contender all over again. I completely agree with you, but it happens in wrestling where they just that was the original idea, and now we're just completely changing it around.
Yeah, and then
everything got screwed.
They just use it as filler now for SmackDown. That's why this whole SmackDown has felt pointless because we've had 3 matches and now a 4th match on this 3-hour marathon of a show where the end result is a future title shot against Nakamura if he shows up.
I'll be on SmackDown, I imagine. It could be next week, possibly, right?
Great. So instead of LA Knight wrestling him tonight, we have to sit through all of this nonsense for LA Knight to wrestle him next week. Pointless.
We did get
waste of time.
Good match. We did get a good match, Jacob Fatu against Andrade. I think it was worth it just for that match alone.
I disagree.
Okay, fine. I thought that match was, to me, it's the match of the night.
I want things to happen. I want it to move.
Snail pace. SmackDown, 3 hours.
That's what I'm saying. It's too slow. It's oh, God. Can we just get to the next thing already? The match was fine, but it wasn't so great where I go, oh, my God. Incredible. And if it's not that, then I really don't need to see it for 15 minutes. I don't. I'm just kind of all right, guys, minutes. Like, it was fine. I feel like
I thought it
WWE
was
these
good.
days is like they're like giving their wrestlers way too much time to wrestle in the ring, and they're limited in what they're allowed to do. So it's just kind of like, boring.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with those, especially when we're in a commercial break right now and we're watching them just pretty much do nothing, go through the motions.
Headbutt each other and walk around the ring. It's just boring. We watched so much of this, like, boring nothing wrestling in WWE because, that's just WWE style. It's very safe. And it's a drag a lot of the times. I don't want to watch these matches.
Most of the time, I won't disagree with you, but I thought Jacob and Andrade, I thought that was very exciting. For the 15 minutes they had, like, I was very satisfied with that. And the crowd showed it too. Like, to me, I don't think the crowd has been that hot for any other match except that. Maybe Trish a little bit because obviously hometown, but I think the fans pretty much would agree that Jacob Andrade best match they've seen tonight. This one, not so much.
This one's been real slow and boring. They're doing nothing.
This is the problem with doing a tournament one night. Like, This is what kind of hurt King of the Ring back in the day. Like, you could tell, like, the matches as they went on, not the best. The finals, not the best. You usually get the better matches in the first or second round. And this is, a bit of a... The matchup isn't that great either. LA Knight against Jacob against Carmelo Hayes, like, not the greatest three-way to see.
No. This sucks, John. I don't know what you're enjoying exactly about SmackDown, but it's just so long, man. It's 3 hours every week. They're killing me with these long-ass matches that go nowhere, and they're 4-0. They mean nothing.
Well, let's start at the beginning here. Like, you didn't enjoy the Trish and Tiffany.
I like the promo with Trish and Tiffany and Chelsea Green because Chelsea Green is funny. Piper Niven was dressed like the Mountie. It was good. Chelsea Green was good.
Well, I also liked that they showed unity together. Like, my biggest complaint going into this was like, why are Trish and Tiffany a team? It didn't make a lot of sense. But Trish, to me, especially tonight, she really put over the fact that, like, they're a team and try to make them a team, and even got her, like, her own, like, Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. Like, I might not be a Leaf fan, but I appreciate the fact that trying to bring them together as a team, and they tried to work together. They even did the cash raises together. I liked it. And I don't know why, like, that whole poster thing got over. Like, I saw that blow up on the internet. Like, that's one way to take it. Like, I guess Trish was trying to take it that way too. Like, the guy was kind of perverted. You didn't catch that when the guy was like, "Oh, your dad had a poster of me." Like,
Trish said that. Trish said that to a kid in the front row. Your dad probably had a poster of me on his wall or something, right?
Apparently, you can't be a fan. You have to be a perverted fan. Like, that's the first I thought about that. Yeah. Like, the way she said that, it was definitely like she thought like the dad was perverted.
I didn't catch that, John. I think you're reading into it in your special Johnny way.
No, the internet. Check the internet, buddy. You'll see that. Like, they took their special way too. Okay.
I'm not listening to the internet anymore. There, it's gone, man. The internet has lost the plot.
Well, I would love to hear from Antoinette because I guess Antoinette was there and she met CM Punk. Apparently, she's in our chat right now. So I'd love to hear about her stuff if she wants to add on to that. I guess she was there tonight too.
At SmackDown?
I think there was like some sort of like meet and greet.
No, okay.
Today?
Because SmackDown's going on right now.
Yeah, no, but she met Punk, I think, at the meet and greet earlier today. Like, there's photos with her and Punk. Pretty awesome.
Cool. Angelo Contagonis wants to know how come we weren't on last night. We were on last night, Angelo. We were on.
Not get to did this thing not pop up that he was on? Yeah, you guys were on.
Yeah, we were on last night. Ringside Report MMA was on last night.
The replay was kind of weird, though. I don't know if you've checked the video. The podcast was good. The YouTube video was kind of messed up. I don't know if there was some issues, but...
What happened?
The audio, like, jumps in and out sometimes. It's fixed on the podcast, but on the YouTube. There's
Well, AJ was like real glitchy last night.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, there was that.
I don't know what's going on with his internet. It's like he can't figure out how to use the internet properly. Anyhow. Antoinette and Angelo in the chat. Shout out to them, members of the team over at join.ringsidereport.net. Okay, John. It's the Elimination Chamber. It's tomorrow night. Who's winning?
Where do you want to start?
The men's chamber. Let's start like at the main thing. Let's who's winning the men's Elimination Chamber? Is it John Cena or is it CM Punk?
You know, I don't know about you. I think it's definitely going to come down to Cena and Punk at the end. I think they're the final two, without question. And then it's kind of a toss-up, really, I think, either between Cena or Punk. Like, if I'm betting, I'm probably betting on Cena, but I'm going to go with my pick to be Punk. Because I want it to be Punk, so I'm going to pick Punk.
I don't think it's going to be Punk.
I know.
I don't think it's going to be Punk. I've been saying Cena the whole time. I'm sticking with Cena. Apparently, it was a YouTube glitch for the audio, for the video of the video show last night on Rumble and Twitch. If you can go to Rumble, you could watch it. It's fine. So it's like YouTube did something. Things happen. But I think it's going to be John Cena. I think Cody Cena makes a lot of sense. I think Cody Cena with The Rock involved makes a lot of sense. I think you could do something with Punk as well. But I feel like Cena is the bigger headline attraction. I feel like match-wise, Cody will be able to carry Cena, and Cena needs somebody to carry him. And if Cena doesn't face Cody, he probably wrestles Logan Paul.
Yep.
And Logan Paul is carrying nobody. He needs to be carried. He needs to be led by the hand quality to do a match. Okay?
If they wrestle, it's not match quality.
Yeah, but goddamn, if they wrestle, it's like an embarrassment. And I don't think they want to do that to Cena on his way out. I don't think they want to put him in that position where at WrestleMania he looks really bad and him and Logan have like a stinker. Because Logan tries to do athletic stuff. That's half his gimmick, is that he does like crazy moves. A few botches and it's going to look really ugly. Like, I think Punk can lead Logan through a match. And I think we saw on Raw and on SmackDown that there's enough heat there to do something. And yeah, there's Punk and Cody backstage. I kind of want to hear what they're saying.
He wants your soul, that's what he said.
Wants your soul, brother.
Oh, he's saying you're on top of the world. What can you possibly offer you?
Oh, my goodness. I just realized I'm watching on Netflix. I could put a closed captioning on. They got good captions.
That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's Punk, Logan. There's enough there. Punk can have a match with him. Logan does all of Hangman's moves, so, Punk can take a buckshot lariat or miss, whatever. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of good stuff there. I think Punk and Logan Paul works for a variety of ways. And I think Cody and Cena works for a bunch of ways, a bunch of reasons. And, you're going to be able to have those matches in the ring where they're both going to be, pretty decent. I think the best match you could put together would be Cody Punk, because they're kind of the ones that are going to be carrying the load in their respective matches, but that's why you kind of have to separate them, because I think the backup, if it's not Cena winning, would be Cena against Logan at WrestleMania, and that would be just tough. Promo-wise, I think it would be really awkward. I want to see CM Punk obliterate Logan Paul on the microphone. Logan said some good stuff on Raw. Punk said some good stuff. Like, they were hammering each other with some things. Punk telling Logan, you're a nobody in this business. It was excellent, because he is a nobody in pro wrestling. Logan telling Punk, like, why do you hate me? Is it because outside of this I succeed at everything I do and you fail at everything you do? But then Punk's like, yeah, well, you're a nobody in this business. And Punk as a professional wrestler is like a legend. And, because he's a legend of professional wrestling, he holds a certain spot in pop culture. And his spot in pop culture is solidified as CM Punk. Logan Paul, we'll see. But he's not a beloved figure among really anyone. And long term, how does that really work for him? How's that going to work? So, I really enjoyed the CM Punk Logan Paul stuff. I'd like to see more. I'd like to see Punk really hammer at him. Punk wearing a Chicago Teachers Union shirt against Logan Paul in that promo, which I thought was interesting, given Logan Paul's political affiliations and Punk
Dave and Johnny
making his statement. Hey, get out of here.
If I am being honest,
get out of here.
Was the first
I don't want to hear
in the
this guy,
entire world
AJ.
To say that
Cut him off.
Logan Paul is something special.
Yeah, shut up, AJ.
Mark my words.
Shut up. Fuck the Logan Paul. People hate this guy. And I'll tell you, I don't like him either. The more I see of Logan Paul, and I'm not talking about the wrestling character, I'm talking about the person that he is. I don't like him. And I want CM Punk to berate him and belittle him on television. I want him to fucking end him verbally. I want Punk to dissect this kid and send him home crying. I want him to break him before the match even happens. And I know he can. And I don't think Cena can. Cena can't do that. Cena's not going to do what Punk needs to do to this kid on the build to this WrestleMania show. I want Punk to make this kid bleed. I want him to hurt him. I want him to hurt him emotionally, physically. I want this guy in trouble. I don't like this guy. This Logan Paul, he is a nothing. He is just a sniveling little shit. Good heel for wrestling, I suppose, but is he really a wrestler? He's a guy that's kind of coddled along the way. He's a celebrity wrestler. He's not real. He's not a full-timer like he's saying. He's not really a wrestler. I saw Kenny Omega say at some point, like, Logan Paul's not really a wrestler. He couldn't go in the G1 and have like a banger every night with different guys like who, they don't even speak the same language. He couldn't go out there and call it on the fly. Like, he's not actually a wrestler. Just because he can do some flips doesn't mean he's actually a wrestler. Like CM Punk said, he's nothing in professional wrestling. He is a nothing.
I think Punk said he's like a flash in the pan kind of thing. It's not something that's has been done before kind of thing. So yeah, he's not wrong about that. We've seen this act before in wrestling, so it's nothing new, and it's nothing that won't come afterwards. So, but the more you talk about it, the more I feel more convinced that Punk actually is going to win the Chamber. Because I think about WrestleMania matches. If Punk doesn't win, what is he doing at WrestleMania? I don't think Punk Logan Paul is the answer. I think Cena Logan Paul, that makes much more sense. And after what we just saw with the whole Punk Cody confrontation, Punk just said, "I'll see you at WrestleMania." Punk's really driving that home. Unlike everyone else in the Chamber, not really driving that home as much. So I'm liking it more and more here. Punk and Cody for Mania.
Okay, well, that's your pick. I'm going to go with Cena. I think Cena, Cody works for many ways. And I think Cody is going to align himself with The Rock. I mean, what is all this if not to do that? If Cody doesn't go, okay, Rock, here's my soul and I give it to you and you are free to do whatever you want with me and lead me and I'm yours. Right? If he doesn't do that, is this leading towards Cody versus Rock at WrestleMania? And if that's the case, I mean, what? What does that mean for the Chamber? Does that mean Cody wrestles night 1 against The Rock, night 2 against the winner of the Chamber, or vice versa?
Well, I'll throw a little bit of a curveball at you here because apparently Drew McIntyre's not 100%. Apparently he got his knee drained just to have a match a couple weeks ago. So there were talks, again on the internet, which I know you love so much, that The Rock is going to take Drew McIntyre's spot in the Chamber. And then The Rock will win the Chamber instead. So that'd be fun. I'm sure you'd love to see that happen. I don't think that will happen, but that's a fun little fantasy world prediction.
So in that world, Cody says no, and then The Rock says okay, and then he gets in the Chamber and gets revenge on Cody by facing him at Mania? Like, that seems kind of far-fetched, because, like, couldn't he just say, well, no, Chamber match is canceled, I'm facing Cody at Mania because I'm The Rock and I own the company?
I mean, he could do a lot of things, right? I mean, he pretty much did that last year, too. He's in the main event. He's not in the main event. He's still going to be in the main event. He did whatever he wanted. The match is matched on no DQ. I'll just make it on the fly. F you, ref. Pretty much what he said last year, no?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Cody in the ring here now, too, by the way. We're talking Cody's finally going to give his answer or lead up to the answer, which, again, what is this leading to tonight? I have no idea. I guess we'll just talk about his dad, probably.
Yeah.
We always do.
Because Cody was saying, like, oh, my dad was broke and he had to work the indies and I don't want to do that. And Rock is offering me, like, financial security for my family. Right?
Yes. Indies, because he's going to have to do that after making millions already in WWE, right? Like, sure he has to do indies again.
I mean, he'd have to, spend a lot of money. But
a bus.
Could happen.
Expensive. Man.
Could happen. Yeah, man. It happens. People make money. They expect to make it forever. They spend it like they're going to make it forever, and then they stop making it, and they go, oh, shit.
Oh, they just said The Rock could make him part owner of the company.
There you go.
Michael
Cole
European...
just said no more live events in small towns. They don't do live events in small towns anymore. They don't do house shows. The hell's he talking about?
Well, he said no more European tours. So apparently the European tours, like, it's such a hassle to do.
Yeah, Cody hates going to Europe. No more European tours and no more live events in small towns. They haven't done a house show in months.
He's getting a gift?
He's getting a special gift. He's getting a truck from The Rock. A special Cody Rhodes truck. So before, he got a nice little dressing room with shrimp in it that R-Truth was enjoying. Those shrimp did look delicious. And now he's getting a truck from The Rock because The Rock loves him and he wants to give him things so that he can get his soul. What exactly does The Rock get out of all this? Cody doing whatever he wants for some reason?
Soul on a piece of paper? Like, isn't that how it works, right?
I don't know. Like Milhouse and Bart? I don't get it.
Cody's going to have that truck. Cody's liking the truck.
Cody's like, ooh, let me see this truck. He's walking right up to the truck. But now, on the big screen, there's the final boss. He's on the big screen. He's in an airport, probably in California or something.
Yeah, it looks too warm to be Toronto.
Yeah, it's not in Toronto. He says The Rock is coming. Getting ready to board his private jet. Oh, Rock promo now. Rock hyping up Elimination Chamber. He's going to Toronto. The Rock's got history in Toronto.
We had the once in a lifetime, now it's decision of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Rock Hogan was in Toronto. Huge moment for The Rock's career. That match was maybe his biggest match.
The Rock always credits Toronto for turning him heel, right?
Yeah. Was that his biggest match? I mean, the matches with Austin were big, but like the one with Hogan was just so iconic.
I feel like he was already made, if you think about it, right? But that put him over the top kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Hogan thing.
It put him in a new level. It was different after that match.
It was different, yeah. But
yeah.
I think the Austin ones kind of made him. But yeah, that put him in the another category with Hogan.
Yeah. Because at that point, Hogan was the most famous wrestler that ever lived, and he had done movies, you know? And then when Rock beat him, it was kind of like, oh, maybe The Rock is going to be the guy who does this stuff, right? Maybe The Rock is the new most famous wrestler, and now he is, you know? He became the new Hulk Hogan in many ways.
Well, bigger than Hogan, I think.
Yeah, much bigger. Which is crazy, because at the time, you couldn't fathom any wrestler being bigger than Hogan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's true. Maybe Austin. I think Austin always had the potential, but even Austin, if you think about it, didn't really.
He never became bigger than Hogan.
Sold more merch. You can say that. But he didn't, in terms of box office, like movies and all that, it didn't happen.
And even like iconic status, like Hogan, he's been here for a long time. I mean, people hate him now, but you know what I mean? Austin is in the ballpark, though. He's definitely in the conversation. Everybody knows Stone Cold Steve Austin. Pretty much. But not like they know The Rock and Hulk Hogan. I feel like more people know The Rock and Hulk Hogan than they do Stone Cold Steve Austin. The average person walking the street. If you say, who's this? They'd be like, Hulk Hogan. If you say, who's this? They might not know it's Stone Cold. Everybody knows The Rock. Everybody.
Well, it's funny. It's like, you think who defined the Attitude Era? I think people would say Austin over The Rock. But then you ask them who's like the biggest superstar.
Yeah.
You'd probably say The Rock.
Yeah.
So there's give and take. That's interesting. He's got a nice belt.
He's got a belt that says Cody sold June 11th, 2015. What does that mean? That's the date that Dusty died. Oh, my God.
Wow.
He's got a weight belt that says Cody Soul with the date that Dusty died on it. And it broke his heart when Dusty died. And he said, don't break my heart, Cody Rhodes. Give me your soul. You make me embrace you as my champion.
We loved him, brother.
Embrace him as my champion. So The Rock wants his soul, and The Rock wants to embrace. Very Hollywood. Very Epstein of The Rock. And now he's boarding his private jet. Very creepy.
Well,
very Diddy Rock. Rock wants to bring Cody to a party where things are going to get weird.
Well, that was one way to end the show, I have to say.
Yeah, with The Rock there talking.
That like, if I was there, like in Toronto, I'd feel satisfied with that. Like, I know, again, creepy ending, like you said, somewhat awkward-ish, but you got somewhat of a Rock appearance. I would take that, given
you call that
what do you have going into that appearance via satellite. I'll take that.
Yeah, well, he'll be in the building tomorrow. So I think Cody says yes.
Really? Tomorrow? I don't think he'll say yes tomorrow. I think WrestleMania, The Rock will get his corporate champion. Who will it be? Will it be Cody? Will it be Punk? Find out at WrestleMania. I don't think a Chamber will find out.
Punk is the corporate champion for The Rock?
I mean, they could tease that. Again, I don't see it happening with Punk.
I think Cody just says, you know what? I've thought about it, and he's gonna reluctantly accept The Rock's offer. And over time, it'll be less reluctant and more embracing it, and he'll kind of slowly morph into this evil character that Roman Reigns will eventually have to take out as good guy Roman. I think that's the move.
Wait and see. We'll see what happens. Especially, I mean, it could go so many different ways here, right? So, wait and see. Antoinette's saying no, but thinks Punk will. That's interesting. She met Punk, so maybe Punk said something to her. I don't know.
I think John Cena's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and he's going to be good guy John Cena trying to stop the newly turned evil Cody Rhodes and The Rock. Yep. I think that's where we're headed. And you are thinking a completely different way, which is nice, because usually we go into these WWE shows and we predict all the matches exactly the same, and then they happen exactly the way we said they were going to happen, and we're kind of like, yeah, that was boring, wasn't it? A little too predictable. But the fact that we both have different scenarios leading into this show, big WrestleMania implications, I'm pleased with that. Because your scenario where Punk wins, I think is plausible, and I think you would say the same for my scenario where Cena wins, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm going more with what I prefer than my gut instinct here.
Oh, okay. So your gut instinct is telling you it is Cena?
Yeah, but I want Punk. Yeah, I think it should be Punk.
I think Punk's going to come in early in the chamber, and that'll cost him too. I think it'll be like Punk and Drew as the first two, or Punk and Seth or something, and then Cena will come in last, and he'll be fresher, and maybe Punk will already be eliminated. Like, I could see Drew and Seth teaming up to take out Punk because they hate him so much. You know?
Yeah, but they do this a lot, especially in men's chambers, I find. They'll have, like, the first guy goes all the way to the end. Maybe he doesn't win, but the first guy usually is all the way to the end, usually.
Yeah, but, like, he'll be beaten compared to Cena. You know, like, Logan Paul will do some things to Punk, and maybe Logan Paul will, like, be the last. It may be Logan, Cena, Punk, and then Logan gets eliminated, but then, like, attacks Punk from behind, and then Cena, like, finishes the match because, what am I supposed to do, you know?
It could happen. I'm just thinking it's going to be Punk, though. But wait and see. That will be fun tomorrow.
If it is Punk, do you think Cena wrestles Logan Paul?
Yes, that's definitely, especially because he came out to Cena's song. I think that's the huge tease right there.
Yeah. Yeah. But Cena said that he was going to win the chamber and face Cody and whatever.
Yeah, but Cena also eliminated Logan in the Rumble, so there's a bit of revenge here, and this is Cena getting his heart broken, and the retirement tour is not over yet, so it's only just starting. So he'll get that revenge later, but first take out Logan and then go for that title shot. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I just think it's going to go the other way. I think we go with Cena and Cody. I feel like Cena, Cody, WrestleMania for the WWE Championship can only happen this year, and they don't want to miss that opportunity.
Sure, but I don't think it has to happen at WrestleMania. It'll be later, I think.
Cena's a bigger star than CM Punk. Like, poster-wise, marquee, you know what I mean? Cena, Cody is bigger.
I mean, they're both very big stars. Like, you know, Cena maybe slightly more, and people want that whole thing for Cena. There's that backing him, but Punk is still super over, though. Like, especially tonight, I feel like who was more over than CM Punk tonight?
Sure, he's over in wrestling, but I'll tell you who was more over than CM Punk tonight. John Cena. Do you see that pop when his music hit? That was the biggest
music,
pop of
yeah.
the night. That's who's more over than CM Punk, John. John Cena. Like, man, and he's iconic. He's a household name outside of pro wrestling. He's very successful outside of pro wrestling. He's a massive star. He's bigger than CM Punk. Like, CM Punk is a big star in pro wrestling, but like mainstream-wise, he's nowhere near what John Cena is. You know that.
That's true. No, that's true. It's unfortunate,
so for,
but it's true.
selling it, and this is a Hollywood company now too, I don't know. The Rock connection too, I think I'm convincing myself more and more that it's going to be John Cena. So I think John Cena, Cody Rhodes is the match. I think John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes accepts the Rock's offer. We have good guy John Cena taking on evil Cody and the final boss. And they probably stop Cena at Mania. They beat him, and then Roman's going to have to get him at SummerSlam or something like that. That's where I think it's headed. I think Roman's going to wrestle Seth at WrestleMania. I think we're all in agreement there. Seth will not win the Elimination Chamber. And I think him and Roman is the match to have as far as that goes.
So Antoinette was at SmackDown tonight. That's interesting.
Huh. So did you just leave? Were you watching us while you were at SmackDown? I'm confused. Because she was like chatting while SmackDown was going on. SmackDown's a live show, so how did that happen? How'd you do that? Amazing. Well, I guess you could watch us on the phone while you're at SmackDown, which is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, it's nice. Why not? Okay, so men's chamber, we have different winners. Women's chamber, I have Bianca Belair winning.
Yeah. We're pretty much the same on that one. Okay. I think we know exactly how this is going there.
I mean, it's a massive match. Oh, she left early. Cool. It's a massive match. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Hasn't really happened. WrestleMania for the belt. It's big. I think it's the move. Bianca's a huge star. Rhea Ripley's a huge star. The match will be good. They could steal the whole weekend of WrestleMania. And I just, I don't want to see Liv and Rhea again. Alexa Bliss and Rhea would be weird. Roxanne Perez, like, come on. Naomi, maybe. But I just feel like, no, it's going to be Bianca. The only other one I think has a shot is Bayley. But I think it's a small shot. If I were to pick another, if it's not Bianca, for some reason,
I'd say Alexa. Actually, I'd pick Alexa over Bayley.
I guess Bayley got pinned tonight in that 6-1 tag,
and I expect she'll get it back on Roxanne in the chamber, but she's not winning, I don't think. And yes, Anthony, I did see Milano. He got I think was it Garza that landed on him on that?
Was that him that he landed on? Man, Garza landed on some security guard and it looked rough.
I think it was Milano. Yeah, I think he was okay though because he was standing up afterwards, or he just shook it off. But yeah, he looked okay. That was cool. It was cool for him. I think that's like his 4th or 5th appearance on WWE. So good for him.
Yeah. I've seen him before working security. Very good. Let me just tell you for a second here, John, as I just took a sip of this delicious beverage. Orange cream Coca-Cola. I was like, is this good? And then I got some, and it's very good. I'm really enjoying the orange cream Coca-Cola. Just so everybody knows. It's pretty nice. It's available in some stores now. It's like a new kind of Coke. And it's pretty good. It's got Coke, orange, a little vanilla in there. It's a good drink.
I'm guessing you have some sort of sponsorship deal now, possibly, or
I wish.
You're wishing for one. Yeah,
no, I wish. I just think I'm hoping for one with Coca-Cola because I love it so much, and I would just take free beverages But I just it's just a really tasty drink. You know, it's like a new kind of Coke, orange cream. And it's like very good. Because sometimes they come out with these Cokes, like Starry Coke or whatever. There's like kind of other kind of Cokes they come out with. And they're not usually good. I like Cherry Coke, but pretty much any other kind of Coke has been kind of not great. Vanilla Coke is all right. But this is better, I think. Orange cream Coke.
Better than vanilla Coke. Wow.
I would put it maybe third place of all the Cokes. I would say original would be number 1, then cherry, and now this orange cream is coming in third place. I would drink this regular. This is good. I'm into it. I want more.
Nice.
Antoinette wants some. See? I'm doing a service to my fellow people that drink sodas, you know? Everybody drinks a soda every now and again. Maybe not everybody, but, you know. I like to try different drinks. I like to try the different sodas and see what they taste like, you know? Coca-Cola comes out with a new Coke. I'm like, let me see what this is. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses. This one, like, out of the park home run, you know? Like, really hits. So, nice. Speaking of out of the park home runs.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
I watched the Yankees beat the Blue Jays in a spring training game while I was watching SmackDown tonight. That was nice. Saw some home run. Alex Jackson, guy trying to make the roster as our backup catcher, hit a home run and a double in the game. Nice performance from Alex Jackson today. I was happy to see that. So, you know, watched a little Yankees baseball tonight, as I do pretty much every day when there's Yankees baseball. I'm watching. I don't care if it's spring training. You know, it doesn't matter to me. If the Yankees are playing and I can watch it, I'm going to watch it because, you know, I'm a big fan.
Well, two things. One, I do remember Crystal Pepsi, Ryan.
Yeah, I've had Crystal Pepsi. It was like clear Pepsi.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
And you guys said the Yankees won yesterday. They did not win yesterday.
No, they tied.
They tied. Yeah.
I didn't say that. It was just the sound effect that said that. I didn't say it.
Okay. But,
it was just the sound effect. This sound effect here.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
That's right. They won tonight.
And they
beat
did
the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays, who had already played earlier in the day.
Split squad. Yeah, I know. It doesn't really count, John. I'm just talking shit. It doesn't mean anything. It's preseason. It means nothing.
So
but I saw Garrett Cole pitch, and he had like 5 strikeouts and 3 1/3. He pitched really well. That was nice. But then Luis Hill, who was like Rookie of the Year, really excellent pitcher, he's going to get an MRI on his shoulder tomorrow. So that sucks. Good thing we still have Marcus Stroman because we may need that 5th starter. We had 6 starters at the beginning of the season or of the, you know, spring training. But now Luis Hill needs an MRI on his shoulder, which is never good for a pitcher. So if he's not around, you know, at least we got Marcus Stroman still on the roster.
Well, I've seen Rodon's numbers, and they're not too good so far. So.
Well, it's spring training, but yeah, I know. It doesn't inspire confidence. He looks awful.
What does inspire confidence is Juan Soto right now. Have you seen him like hitting home run after home run? Like, wow.
Yeah, but who's
like
he hitting him off?
Regardless, like if you're in the National League, I think the Mets, you got to watch out for them.
Yeah, probably. But I think that the their NL East is not going to be easy.
No, with Philly and the Braves, of course not. But
yeah,
the Mets are going to be up there, I think.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Although they have like no pitching, so it's a problem.
Wasn't there a rumor about Stroman going to the Mets?
Well, they'd have to, make a trade that makes sense.
You're not getting Soto back.
And I don't think Stroman's going to go back to the Mets. He hated playing for the Mets.
I'm just saying the rumors. That's it.
I don't think those rumors have anything behind them. I think the stronger rumors were Soto going to St. Louis for Arenado, some sort of deal, but that's not happening right now.
Way too early for that to happen.
Why not? Anyways.
They'll give him a run first.
Let's get back to the chamber here, John. So we both think Bianca Belair is going to win, and then she'll face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. That's cool. We have different men's chamber winners. How about Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice? I think Tiffany and Trish will win because, it's in Toronto, and Trish is just here for this match to wrestle in Toronto. Right? This isn't a comeback. I think it's a one and done.
Yeah, I think so, but I think Charlotte will be around and might get involved in some capacity because why not build towards your match at WrestleMania? So that might maybe play against Tiffany and Trish. I still think they'll win, but I think that might play a factor in the match at Charlotte.
Yeah. You might be right. But
and does
this is the match I care about the least, right? Like, it means nothing.
Well, I think you just got to answer my question there because I think this is like a fill-in in between, like a chamber match. I think you start with the chamber match, probably the women's, and then you have like this match in between this and the men's, I think.
Mm-hmm. What? So I think Cody's going to accept The Rock's offer, and he's just going to be like, "Yeah, all right, let's do it," but reluctantly. Do you think he's going to accept, or you think he's just going to say, "Well, I'm not ready. We have to decide at WrestleMania"? Like, what? What do you think he tells him?
I think he's going to say no, and then he'll change his mind at WrestleMania. So I think he's going to just say no at the chamber.
Okay.
I don't know what Frank was saying there.
Charlotte choose Tiffany because of Andrade. I don't even understand. Because Tiffany's on SmackDown and Andrade's on SmackDown? Charlotte and Andrade are divorced. Are they not?
No,
Didn't they get divorced?
That's if you believe in TMZ, which I don't know. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But that's what TMZ said. So in October, I believe they got divorced. So
it wasn't denied by anybody. So I guess they're no longer together.
I don't think they're going to talk about it at all on television whatsoever. They'll never ask her that question. So it won't be played into any storylines.
No. How about Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens? Should be a great match. Should be a lot of fun. Who wins? What does it mean? Where do they go at WrestleMania?
I think the big thing, it's not so much who wins, where they go. It's that this can be half an hour right here, this match. Like, let them do whatever the hell they want. It's unsanctioned. Let them do absolute carnage to each other. And they overhyped it. So they got to live up to their hype here. This is going to be the craziest thing they've ever done. So that means there needs to be an insane ending to this, right? They have to fall off of something, or there needs to be like explosions or something. There has to be something incredible at the end of this. So they hyped it so much. We need something big to happen. Sammy needs to go for something because Sammy's saying that he's going to do something bad to Kevin. So it needs to be Sammy setting Kevin up for something. Kevin's probably going to reverse it somehow. And then Sammy takes it because I think Kevin gets the win in the end of this one. Kevin's going to build up to a match with Randy, I think, at WrestleMania.
Okay. I like that. Randy's coming back. Where's Randy been?
Well, you remember the neck with the pile driver, which looked like crap, that he's been selling like crazy?
So he's just been selling for months?
He could come back tomorrow, I think. That'd be awesome.
So he's not hurt or anything? He's just been off? Randy style?
It's a good relaxed schedule. It's all right.
I guess.
Come back for a big Mania match?
Against Kevin at WrestleMania. Sure. I guess. Where does that leave Sammy?
Well, he was doing something with Karrion Kross. I don't know if that makes Mania, though. I think that might just be Andre the Giant Battle Royal. But that's what happens sometimes.
That's it? That's all Sammy gets? I think they give him more than that.
I mean, he's going to have to be selling the effects of this, right? So he's not going to be around for at least a week or two.
Jeez. So this is just a stepping stone for Kevin to move on to Randy? Like, I think that's possible, but I feel like they got to do something more with Sammy. I'm not sure what, though. Like, that's why this match happening here is kind of weird. It's like, I get it. It's Toronto and everything, but felt like this was going to be the WrestleMania match for these guys. Now that it's not, I wonder where they're headed. Kevin and Randy makes sense. I get that. But Sammy, it's like, what? I feel like they have more invested in him than to just kind of leave him on the sidelines.
Well, if they can build up to a big match with him and Karrion Kross, but I feel like they kind of abandoned Karrion Kross because they got rid of his whole group now. So
yeah, there's no big match for him.
Well, it's even if it is a big match, it's not much of anything because they destroyed what Karrion Kross was. So is that big for to me? Again, that's Andre the Giant, like Battle Royal, SmackDown.
Yikes. Who's Braun Breaker going to defend the Intercontinental title against? Finn Balor, AJ Styles, both?
It feels like it's going to be a multi-man, right? I think maybe a 3-way or 4-way. It feels like it's going to be something like that. That's a pretty good match, actually. If it's a 3-way against AJ and Finn, Braun, I'm actually very okay with that.
Maybe a 4-way with Sheamus in there?
Yeah, that's not bad. I wouldn't mind if they probably don't have anything else for Sheamus, so sure, yeah.
Have we ever seen a proper Sheamus versus Finn feud or match or anything? Irish on Irish crime? I feel like they've never interacted, and they should, because, they talk similar, I guess. No?
It's incredible that they haven't wrestled, if that's true. I can't remember right now, but I'd be very surprised if they've never wrestled in WWE.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything of any kind of substance, meaning between those two.
It's tough. But I mean, there's just so many Raw, so many SmackDowns and not one match. It just feels, it's incredible.
They're both Irish, John. They're both Irish. They put JD McDonuts with Finn as quick as possible. He's Irish.
Wasn't JD actually like somewhat helped trained by Finn or something like that?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't follow the history of JD McDonuts. All right, so Kevin beats Sammy, and that's Elimination Chamber.
Wow, that was quick.
It's 4 matches.
And it'll be 4 hours.
It'll take forever. And we're not doing a post show because I'm going to the Montreal Quintet Jiu-Jitsu show in person. I'm going to a thing. So, no post show for a chamber. I'm going out with Freddie and AJ, night out with the boys, having a good time, watching people choke each other and, go for leg locks. It's going to be a lot of leg locking. High-level jiu-jitsu is like so much leg lock. So much. It'll be fun. So that's where I'll be tomorrow. So we're not going to do a chamber post show, which is unusual for us because we'll usually do a post show for every big WWE event. But, once in a while. Night off. Rare night out for me. When do I ever leave my house? I can't be sitting around watching the TV all the time. Sometimes I got to leave the house.
You're not going too far, but
yeah,
you are leaving the house a little bit. Yeah, you don't even have to take the metro, but yes.
No, I'm gonna walk to where I'm going.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I live close to the event, which is nice. It's good.
But if people want, like Angelo, like Antoinette, like they can leave comments about Elimination Chamber because we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Just leave comments in the video afterwards if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about it next week for sure. I mean, we won't be able to get around it, right? Stuff will happen, and we will have to talk about what has happened. Like, no matter what, whoever wins the chamber, we'll talk about it next week because it'll be, a big deal.
Oh, Elimination Chamber will definitely end last. I think the Habs game will end first. Ryan, you're asking me that.
What?
Yes, what's going to end first? The Canadiens game, it starts at 7, or the Elimination Chamber starts at 7? Mm-hmm. Elimination Chamber will definitely end last.
Okay.
The hockey game will be over first.
Okay. Is your hockey team doing well, John?
Well, I've been having a lot of fun because I went 3 times this week. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
It's a lot of hockey.
well, it's hockey, but it's a big playoff push right now. So every game's important. It's do or die every game. So it's fun. It's fun watching. Last 2 months left, pretty much now.
2 months. Are they in a playoff thing? The spot?
5 points out with like 20 some odd games left.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's possible. Yeah, Antoinette, we'll leave comments about it. Awesome, too. That's cool, because Antoinette, I think, is going to be at Elimination Chamber, so we definitely want to hear your comments, Antoinette, of how the whole show goes, actually, your personal experience. That would be definitely noteworthy.
Mm-hmm. If they make it, do they have a shot of, like, winning or doing well, or it's just, like, make it because it's fun?
I mean, you make the playoffs, you never know what can happen, right? You should know that. Like, 1 year, one team was 8th seed, right? Last seed, whatever. They went all the way to the finals, so it can happen. And yeah, it sucks about Kirby Dak got knee surgery. That sucks. Injuries happen too. Like, people get hurt. It's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but every team gets injuries, so you just have to roll with the punches.
Kirby, pink guy, swallows things, right?
Not quite. No?
Pink guy kind of floats around. Rolls
Feels
into a
other
ball
people's
sometimes. He's cool.
abilities and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of guy.
That guy doesn't have knees. He's a pink ball. How could he have knee surgery? He's a pink ball who swallows things.
6% Yeah, the chances aren't great, Lauren. I know.
Oh, wow.
I'll take those chances, actually.
Those aren't good chances, John. You're making me think that they were like nearly going to make it. 6%. I mean, that's bad.
Yeah, but you just win a couple of games, those percentages go up. So
right.
And Antoinette, the Leafs are in a playoff spot. You don't have to worry about it.
They're in a playoff spot, yeah? Are they good?
Yeah, the Leafs are all right.
Yeah. Who's the best in hockey right now? Who's the best team?
I'd say Winnipeg is the best.
Winnipeg, you idiots. No way.
Yeah. I think everyone, unless you're biased, would agree Winnipeg is the best team right now in the NHL.
Wow. I had no idea. It'd be cool if they won the Stanley Cup.
Well, like almost every other Canadian team, they'll make the finals and then lose in the finals. That's pretty much what happens, right?
Yeah. A Canadian team still hasn't won the Stanley Cup since 1993 when the Canadians won, right? Isn't that still the case?
That is the case.
That's bananas.
They all went to
That's
the finals
the craziest
almost.
thing. Huh?
Yeah, but if you look at it, though, like all the teams that won, most of them had Canadian captains, right? Like most of the Canadian players were on the teams when the cup. They're just not from Canadian market. So
yeah, well, but Canadian fans cheer for the teams in their towns. They don't. I mean, they like it when they see Canadian guys winning, but if you see a bunch of Canadian guys winning on like Tampa Bay, you go, well, I think you'd rather them win on Montreal, no? Or Ottawa or something, You know what I mean?
I definitely don't disagree with you, but I did love watching Team Canada beat Team USA. I thought that was an awesome moment. So
yeah, I don't even like hockey, and I was pleased that happened because it took on this whole other dimension, and I was like, oh yeah, it's good that they won that because if they lost that would have been really embarrassing for the country. Might as well pack it in at that point. You go, well, if we can't win this hockey thing, I mean, what are we really doing here? Because it seems like sports-wise, that's the only thing Canada can really do. And if you can't do that, goddamn, pal, you're in trouble.
I think the Olympic medals are a bit more important, but I guess national pride was also important this year. So
there was a lot of heat, brother.
There was heat. With
the Trump and the things and the states and everything,
And to be honest, like I don't know about you, I feel like WWE is missing something there. Like they have Chelsea Green, who comes out with this like split Canadian-U.S. uniform thing. Mm-hmm. She could really play up what's going on with Canada and U.S. right now. We could relive the whole like Bret Hart like U.S. thing with Chelsea. No, you laugh, but I think they really could. But they aren't going in that direction whatsoever. Like they're just doing this typical like, oh, I'm Canadian, but I don't like Canada. Cool new member. That's awesome. But yeah, they're just doing the typical like, oh, like I'm Canadian, but Canada's a dump here. Like, just being our typical. And then when she's back in the States, oh, the U.S. sucks. More like Canada. just typical crummy heel like she is. Like she should really play up the whole Canada US how it is right now, but they aren't.
Yeah, I thought somebody was going to do it. I thought Logan Paul was going to do it at one point, but he didn't. You know, because if Logan Paul came out and said, "Oh, Canada, you know, can't wait till you guys are the 51st state," he would have got booed out of the building. People would have thrown shit at him.
Yeah.
I think it might have been crazy. Like, it might have been a riot, honestly. People may have gone bananas at Logan Paul. Maybe they shouldn't say that because it would go too far. Because honestly, if Logan Paul said that shit and I was like 5 feet away, I might jump him. I might be like, "What'd you say, motherfucker?" Fucking take him out. Bunch of rowdy Canadians, man. There's beer flowing. People are angry.
Hey, Dave and Johnny, if I am being honest,
the hell is this?
I was the first one in the entire world to say
that
Logan Paul is something special.
You are big time jabroni.
Mark my words.
If I'm being honest, shut up.
A brain fart too. I don't know if you heard the brain fart.
Yeah, he's glitching out in real. Anyways. Thanks, Antoinette, gifting the membership to Jonathan Page. Welcome.
Yeah, but that's it. WWE is too scared to do stuff that's happening in the real world too much. So
the heat would have been bananas, brother.
And Chelsea would have got super over by doing it, but doing this typical, just be a heel wherever I am kind of thing. She's not going to go anywhere with that,
man.
And that was dumb too. Like she said, like, "Oh, what a loser you are, Tiffany." She's the world champion.
Yeah,
like so stupid. But whatever.
Chelsea comes out when she said, like, "Oh, I'm Canadian, but I live in the States, and it's way better than Canada." The heat that she got when she said that, it was a different level of heat. There was, you know what I mean? There's something else. Like people are booing the American national anthem. You say America in Canada right now, you're gonna take heat. We've rejected Wayne Gretzky at this point. Like, it's like the whole country's like, fuck Wayne Gretzky now. It's like, it's gone to a different level here in Canada. I don't know if the WWE recognizes it, but like, when Chelsea said America better than Canada, it was like, oh, don't say that. It was like, big heat. I don't think they want to go there, but they tiptoed around it, and it was interesting to see the reaction from the crowd because it was like, oh, there's really something there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Forever, this country will always exist. It's not the best, but it's fine by me.
It is something, though, because I've been to a couple of games this week, and to hear the booing for the U.S. national anthem, it's quite something. And then I don't know if I've heard the Canadian national anthem like cheered and sang as loudly as I've heard this week. Like in Montreal, too, especially, because like Quebec, not exactly very patriotic, but wow, it is far more patriotic than ever before. Like, it's definitely brought Quebec and Canada closer together than ever before this.
I think that is an interesting point. So you were at the hockey games this week, and you noticed people really belting out the anthem, which in Montreal, in Quebec, it's not... You see more Quebec flags than Canadian flags in Quebec, Of
course. Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that is interesting.
And to be fair, they kind of poked the bear a bit too, because there's booing of the U.S. anthem, and then when the Canadian national anthem is being played, they're showing highlights of the Four Nations when Canada beat the U.S. And the building blew when that happened. It was insane.
Yeah. It's interesting what's going on here. It's interesting.
Well, it's interesting too. If apparently you watch it on TV, like, oh, we're not actually booing the U.S. anthem because they mute the crowd a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Television.
Yeah.
You have to get the fan cams to get the real reactions.
Bret Hart, if Bret Hart came out.
Oh, wow. We get Bret tomorrow. That'd be
You want to talk about a real Canadian. You want to talk about Bret, the Hitman Hart. Guy lives in Calgary. The guy's a real Canadian, brother.
Do we get a screw job tomorrow?
No,
You're in
I don't
Canada.
think so. I don't think so.
The Rock doesn't say ring the bell or something in the chamber or something, no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Jeez. Okay. Elimination Chamber tomorrow in Toronto. Johnny, what about AEW? What debacle did they do this week? You know, they ruined my favorite thing. I mean, they didn't totally ruin it, but they botched up my favorite thing in AEW, which is Hangman and MJF. They do intense promos. It's a good feud. It really is to determine who the number one guy is in AEW, regardless of who the champion is or whatever. These two guys are the main guys in AEW, and they're going to have a match at Revolution. And their feud has been intense. It's been really good. I liked MJF rejecting AEW, getting his AEW tattoo removed while he cuts a promo. He had an AEW tattoo with Bet on Yourself written on it on his leg, and he got it removed out of disdain for AEW and their fans for choosing Hangman over him. Hangman's supposed to be the good guy. MJF is the bad guy. MJF disgusted with the fans, disgusted with AEW. Very intense stuff from both guys. And then MJF surprising Hangman and saying, oh, hey, look at your buddy here backstage. Christopher Daniels, look at my hands, they're all bloody. Or my towel, it's bloody because of what I've done to your friend backstage. And then we cut to backstage.
You're going to get upset.
Well, it's just, it was so crazy for so many different reasons. We see Christopher Daniels punching himself in the head and then going, oh. Because he was like cutting himself with a razor blade to get blood, and the camera caught him doing it, and then he played dead with blood like all over the place. I hope some of that was fake blood because it was like a 3-second shot just for effect of like, oh, MJF has beat up Christopher Daniels. But actually, Christopher Daniels has beaten up himself. And we're seeing it. I mean, first of all, you should have pre-taped this thing. Should have been edited, ready to fire, and go. So you could have avoided the live shot of Daniels blading and then, oh, I'm dead. So it shouldn't have been live. If it was live, maybe somebody tell him when he's on so he's not caught looking terrible. And also, if you're going to do that spot, it's not a match. It's a little backstage thing for 5 seconds. Just use fake blood. Why is he blading at all? Week after week, AEW is doing things that seem like they're trying to sabotage their own show. It's unbelievable how disorganized this television program is. We're hearing they're not doing production meetings to plan out the show. It's just all on the fly. There was the mess with Thunder Rosa and what's her name last week and all of that. Megan Bayne. All of that nonsense last week. And I thought, well, that was a new low in AEW. How could they ever top that?
Well, they didn't top it, in my opinion. Like, this wasn't as bad as last week. I thought last week was worse, to be honest.
This was pretty bad, John, because last week was a miscommunication with a group of wrestlers, and this was, we don't know when we're live. We have no direction. We're going to catch a guy blading and then acting dead. I mean, he went from I'm punching myself in the head to get color to, oh shit, I'm on, let me act like I'm unconscious. It looked ridiculous. And it was dumb for so many different reasons. I mean, I don't think we need to debate what was worse, last week or this week. Because I think we can agree that neither event should have happened, and both things, last week's Thunder Rosa, Bocce, whatever the hell that was, and this week with Christopher Daniels, both of these things should not have happened. They should not have happened.
Agreed.
They could have been easily avoided, and
Yes.
it makes AEW look like an absolute joke of a show. Just a total joke, shit show, mess that you can't even respect anymore. It's so pathetic. It's so absurd. It's so poorly run and managed that you no longer have any kind of respect for the company. Tony Khan has squandered his opportunity. This was the darling of professional wrestling 2-3 years ago. Everybody loved AEW. Everybody thought this was the thing. This was it. This was wrestling. And they still have an unbelievable roster of talent. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Darby Allin, wherever the fuck he is, Christian, Edge. A plethora of wrestling talent. And they squander every opportunity because they are fucking clueless, mismanaged fucking dummies. Tony Khan is a mess. He's a joke. He will go down in wrestling history as a fucking joke. And at one point, people thought, he's this fucking wrestling mind, and he's going to fucking save us, and he's going to put the emphasis back in wrestling and turn indie wrestling mega and mainstream, and it's going to be this whole thing, New Japan style, and it's in America, and it's going to be just great storylines and sport-based programming, and remember the point system and the rankings and all that bullshit that they tried to do, and they had all these big plans, and it was going to be great wrestling with real good stories and told over time. And it was all going to make sense, and it was all going to work in the end. And for a time, some of their things kind of did work. And now, you watch the show and you go, what the fuck is happening? It's awful. It's awful. And I don't know what's changed. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's going on there. I can't figure it out. Because it seems like roughly the same people in charge now are the people that were in charge before, but it's fallen apart. It's clearly fallen apart. I watch this show every week and I go, it's fucking getting worse. What the fuck are we doing? I used to think like, wow, some of these guys that are sticking around to AEW, good for them. This is a good place for them. They're going to shine in AEW more than they could ever shine in WWE. WWE won't know how to handle them. Good for MJF. Good for Swerve. Good for these guys, Hangman, sticking in AEW. And now, every single one of them, I think, fuck, when is their contract up so they can go and be in a real wrestling company and make real stars of themselves and make money for their kids and their grandkids and really make something out of this shit. Because I watch what they're doing with Pentagon and the entrances and the fanfare and all this shit and the money that I'm sure he's getting, and they're investing in his entrance and everything. And I go, God damn, imagine if they had MJF, what they'd do with him. If they're doing this with Pentagon, if they're doing this with Ricky Starks, imagine what they do with Hangman Page. Hangman's got to be looking at it going, fuck, I could be rich, man. Rich. look what they're doing with Cody. You imagine if Hangman showed up in fucking WWE?
Well,
him and Punk.
Let's
I mean,
let's
what
look
the
at a
fuck?
lot of guys.
I mean,
that aren't. Yeah, but Cody's a bit of a name. Like, he didn't go right to NXT. A lot of these guys went right to NXT. Ricky Starks is right to NXT.
Pentagon didn't. Pentagon is, we've seen Pentagon. He's not Hangman. He's not MJF. He's not Swerve. He's pretty good, but, like, really, him as a tag is what we want. And even then, Rey Fenix, his brother, is kind of more electrifying. So if you like Penta, wait till you see Rey Fenix. You know what I mean?
Well, Penta's got the cool look, and yeah, I think Rey Fenix, it's more of the crazier style, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you look at the way it's all put together right now. Room for like someone like that, like it kind of makes sense that you put someone like Ricky Starks in NXT. Like, where do you put someone like that on the main roster? Like, where would Hangman fit on the main roster? He wouldn't fit. He would go to NXT. So, again, like, there's only so many spots you could have. They're cutting people down now, too. Like, we saw some roster cuts not too long ago. There's probably going to be more. Usually it's after Mania we get some cuts, too. So, expect more. What happened to the Wyatt Six? Is that dead now?
I hope so. It was no good.
Fingers crossed. But Alexa Bliss came back, so that might give them life again. So, wait and see.
Yeah. AEW is not impressive. They're not.
There were some things I did like, though, with Dynamite, though.
Okay. I liked Prince Nana and Swerve's promo with Ricochet. I thought that was good.
I like that we're getting the match at the pay-per-view, too, Revolution. That's the number one contenders match.
Ricochet versus Swerve. The winner gets a title shot for the AEW World title against the winner of Moxley and Edge.
So I'm expecting at Dynasty, where I believe Swerve won the title the first time. I'm not mistaken. No, I think he won it last year at Dynasty. So I think that's where they're going to build towards again. Probably against Moxley, I'm going to guess. Because now that was the big thing that happened this week on Dynamite. For me, was that whole like Edge taking down the Death Riders. That was the big segment, I thought, this week.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Edge with the concerto on Cesaro, Claudio, right?
And Marina.
And Wheeler accidentally hitting the Busaiku knee on Marina was a moment, too, right?
And then you thought Edge was going to hit her, but then no.
Yes, then Willow Nightingale did the concerto on Marina. So Edge... systematically, Edge, Jay White, and now Willow Nightingale systematically taking out the Death Riders. Edge took out Pac with I think, concerto on Collision. I didn't see it, but I'm assuming.
He did, yeah.
And then he took out Claudio, and now they've taken out Marina, so I guess they just need to kill Wheeler, and then Moxley will be alone.
Pretty much. I think that's what's going to happen, yeah.
And then what? Edge beats Moxley?
And then you think Christian would win, right, maybe?
Is that going to happen? Are they going to take the belt off Moxley? Could we fucking end this Death Riders bullshit already? Because that would really help AEW. If we could end this Death Riders, Jon Moxley world title run. If we could stop seeing this group. If we could stop seeing Moxley with his promos about the belt and the briefcase and the bullshit. If we could stop seeing Moxley as the main event. If we could get away from everything Jon Moxley and his crew, I think AEW would be way better off. So could we please put the title on Edge or Christian or fucking Brian Keith? I don't give a fuck. Just get it off these guys. Get away from these guys. It's ever since they took over, AEW has been in the toilet. AEW was pretty good when Bryan Danielson was the champion. Ever since he disappeared, this company has been shit. And, by the way, exactly what I predicted when they fucking did it. I was like, what the fuck? They're going to do this? It's going to be bad. It's going to be Moxley. It's going to be boring. These guys aren't actually entertaining. These guys aren't stars. These guys aren't over. No one wants to see this. And AEW's been fucking just tanking ever since. Like, it's so obvious, and then they fuck it up. They keep fucking up. Trash company, man. Get the belt off Moxley. Save yourself now before it's too late. He's killing the business. He's killing the company. Am I wrong? This title run is killing AEW.
The Bucks were killing the business.
But that's a catchphrase. Moxley's actually killing the business. Jon Moxley, as world champion, main evented in his hometown of Cincinnati in front of fucking 2,000 people. He can't draw. No one's watching. The company looks like a fucking joke, and he's the fucking centerpiece. What the fuck? They were in Cincinnati on Monday for Raw. They had fucking 10 times the amount of people in the building, and their world champion isn't from Cincinnati. What the fuck are we talking about? This guy needs to go. It's enough. His promos are fucking long and boring and just fucking, they go nowhere. His matches are the same. They have Will Ospreay on their fucking roster. What are we doing? They have Okada. They've got Kenny Omega. They've got MJF. They've got Hangman. They've got Swerve. They've got Darby. What are we doing? They've got Edge and Christian. What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck, man? It's enough. Please give the belt to Edge. Please. Please.
Well, that's going to be next week. So Revolution will be, is it March 10th, if I'm not mistaken? And I don't think we're doing a watch along for that either. That's a Sunday. So there'll be no post show for that.
We'll preview it, though, next week, I guess, right?
There you go.
Am I wrong about Moxley? Don't you think he needs to go?
Like, I don't disagree. Like, I would like to see a new champion. The thing is, I think I'd probably want to see Swerve, though, before Edge.
That's fine. But, like, we're not there yet, so...
So we'd have to retain. Sorry.
We gotta wait longer. But this is the thing. I think, like, we're at a point now with AEW where if we wait any longer, people are going to tune out and never come back. I'm almost there.
Like, I feel like they still have good matches. Like, until the wrestling, like, in terms of the quality of the matches, like, really dips, I don't think you'll ever truly lose, like, a big portion of your audience. Again, storylines can be better. Production needs a lot of work. But I think overall, most people watch it for the matches. And I enjoyed Ospreay against Brian Keith. I thought that was a very good match. And for what it was, I thought the main event served its purpose. Kanosuke against Orange Cassidy. Fine with that. And I'm looking forward to that match with Kenny at Revolution. I think what's going to happen.
That's when I tuned out of AEW. People are tuning out, man. We used to cover TNA. We don't anymore. We used to watch TNA. We used to preview their pay-per-views because it was relevant. And then at a certain point, the company lost credibility. They were no longer relevant, and no one paid attention anymore. AEW is headed down that road.
It could, yeah. It could happen.
Yeah. People are tuning out. People are dropping out. Angelo Contagonis. I've had enough of Moxley as champ. It's boring. Thank you. Exactly. Boring. Thank you to Antoinette. Thank you to Angelo, members of the team. Lior. All the members over at join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network. Thank you for keeping us going. Johnny, when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
So March 29th, I'm going to be in tournament I kind of mentioned. And Angela's correct. Yeah, Mike Bailey will be in AEW. They did a package for him on Collision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they hyped him at all on Dynamite, so maybe he's just going to be a Collision guy. But still, like, that would be welcome to have in AEW. That's going to, again, the wrestling gets better.
Yeah.
I think. So, again, just make it a tighter show. Organized. That's what they got to work on. But March 29th.
Mike Bailey's good. He's, I wonder what they do with him. It'll be interesting to see how they book him.
You could just, the potential matches there. Like, again, there's going to be a lot of good matches coming up.
Yeah.
No question about that.
Him and Darby would be a lot of fun.
Darby, Kenny, Ospreay. I mean, it just goes on and on. Konosuke, pretty much everyone, really, when you think about it. So,
yeah. Nice Montreal talent. Canadian talent. Speedball Mike Bailey. In AEW. Good for him. I kind of figured it would happen.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think maybe put him with Don Callis, actually.
Give him a bit of an attitude edge type of thing, like a heel persona. Yeah.
Well, because that way, then bam, he's right in a feud with Ospreay and Omega. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a pretty good start, no? Like, I like that a lot. So.
Yeah. Okay, your next match. When can people see Johnny?
So March 29th, I'll be at John Abbott College. I'll be in that tournament for the championship I kind of mentioned earlier on the show. Even though I'm already number one contender, they're doing a tournament for the championship that I'll be in, and it's my plan to win it. And people can potentially buy the T-shirt that's right behind me, and my cool little Slam buddies that I have now too, because they're cool. So buy them now.
I love it.
That's what I sound like.
How do you buy them?
Well, I'll be selling 2 of these. That's so people can buy them.
Where? At the show you'll be selling?
At the show, yeah.
Okay.
$50 for each, so that's not bad.
$50?
Pretty good size. Yeah.
For a mini Johnny.
Not that mini, but yes. Compared to me.
Well, yeah. Little Johnny. Well, very cool. So get yourself a Little Johnny. And get yourself the new Johnny T-shirt. I don't have one of those.
You have one of them, don't you? Like,
I don't have that one.
You have this one, too. Like,
yeah, but I don't have that one. I don't have that Genesis shirt.
Not that one, but you can still buy this Genesis shirt off the ringsidereport.net merch as well. Check the website.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I have nothing to promote. I'm not promoting anything. I'll be back on Thursday at 8 with the boys. We'll preview UFC 313 because next Saturday it's UFC 313. Pereira and Ankalaev. Man, I've been hyping Magomed Ankalaev as the next light heavyweight champion for years now. So he's finally getting the title shot, so that'll be cool. And some Johnny North shirts have been sold at merch.ringsidereport.net. They're flying.
Woo-hoo.
People want to get those Genesis shirts. Yeah, that's right.
And different colors, too. Like, this is gray, but I believe you can also
have an orange one.
You have an orange one. I think, does AJ have a different color, too?
I think he's got, like, a blue one.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think Antoinette has, like, a black one.
Nice. Yeah, they come in a variety of different colors and sizes that you can get over at merch.ringsidereport.net. Get yourself a Johnny North T-shirt. You know? All right. So it's cute. The Johnny shirt or the Little Johnny? I think Little Johnny's cute. Little Johnny's adorable. Look at that thing.
Looks like a badass, actually.
I want a Little Johnny.
What?
I need to get a Little Johnny.
Well, better get it fast because they're going quick. People are already buying them.
You told me you'd save one for me.
I said maybe. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
You motherfucker. Yeah. Antoinette got herself a Johnny shirt. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And I'll see you again on Thursday night for Ringside Report MMA right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Yes, boy!
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.